Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first day of CouchCon, sponsored for us by the Chromatic Chimera for Doctors Without Borders. This is our D&D trivia panel. It's called Actually, based off of the college humor game of the same name. Forgot to take my cat out of the room, so there may be noises. It's fine. It's whatever. I am joined today by my lovely players who will introduce themselves in just a moment. But first, I am Joe. I go by they, them pronouns. I am at Sleepless Seymour on Twitter with only 2 S's in the middle. The cat in charge pretty much anywhere else. I cosplay, I do D&D, I'm mostly a DM. I do a lot of world building, and I just like being creative and also being corrected about D&D facts. If you don't know what actually is, I will also explain that in just a minute. But firstly, Jazz, please take it away from me and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jazz. I'm also a cosplayer, and I've been playing D&D for 4 years. I'm autistic, so if I ever seem slow, forgive me. Oh, my Twitter. I'm at FultureJazz on Twitter.
All right, and then next up, Sophia, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sophia, or Als. You can find me at Alsarla, pretty much everywhere on the internet, and you can see how it's spelled just below me. Very weirdly, but it's unique and it's me, and that's me. I DM the Twilight Grove here on Heroes Without Limits, and the finale of this arc will air this Tuesday, unless there will be more sickness in the cast. And I look really much forward to it.
Right, and last but not least, Adaren, which I just realized I don't actually know how to pronounce. Please introduce yourself as well.
Hi, I'm Daria, or Adoran. I use she, her pronouns. I do a monthly talk show here on Heroes Without Limits at the end of each month on Thursdays. It's called Hero Sheets. You should come watch this month's episode because I'm going to have Joelle from Mousecapades on, which is going to be super cool. Find me at Twitter at ethnic_Dorito, where I tweet about things that I find in my room. Yeah, that's my pitch.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I'm very, very excited about this. So for those of you in the audience who don't know what actually is, it is essentially a trivia game, but instead of me asking questions and you guys answering them, I'm going to present you with a couple of sentences that have a couple of facts in them, one of which is wrong. Your job is to correct me, essentially. Point out the correction. Some of them may require you to give the correct answer, some of them won't. I'm not going to be super stingy about it. If you can point out what the wrong part of my statement is, you win the point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins a prize. The prize in this case being a written work. I was going to say fan fiction. For some reason, it sounded unprofessional. Whatever. It's probably going to be a fan fiction if you want it to be. Because I'm a writer, and I like writing for people. So whoever wins the most points at the end of this game gets essentially to tell me to write whatever they want. I'm assuming it's going to be a story about your D&D character, but literally whatever you want. And at the break, we are going to be turning it over to the Twitch chat. I will be asking you guys questions, and whoever answers correctly first will get a 100-word drabble, also about whatever it is that you want me to write about, written by me. So if you'd like to participate in the chat, you can do so. The panel is planned to be for 2 hours because I don't have a very good estimate on like time and in general how it works and how long it takes for people to like say things out loud. So it might end up being a little bit shorter than that. It ends when I run out of questions. And when I get to the halfway point for my questions, that is when the break will go. So if all of my players could please buzz in on Buzz in Live, which is the little I forgot to turn off the
Okay.
buzzer. Whoops. All right. Here we go. Okay. Is everyone buzzed in?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and say my first statement, and there will be a 5-second countdown before I reset the buzzer. And as soon as you notice that it resets, if you have the answer right off the top of your head, just buzz right back in, and you can go ahead and say what you would like. So here we go. Let's start. When D&D first released in 1972, it only had 4 races: human, dwarves, elves, and hobbits, and 3 classes: fighterman, magic user, and cleric to choose from. Please buzz in if you know. Adoran, you got that first.
Actually, I think D&D was released in 1976.
You got the year wrong, but you did get the correct thing about the sentence.
Is it
1974 was when D&D was first released. Also, same year that my mom was born. Happy birthday,
wow.
Amy. All right, so that first point goes to you.
I'm gonna win.
No.
This is it. This sets it for the entire game. Let me grab.
I mean, technically, I'm joint second place so far. So consider that a win.
Actually, it's what's it called?
I literally only know that because I was on the D&D wiki page yesterday trying to like study.
No.
Oh, it was gonna be that it was called halflings, not hobbits, because of
Oh yeah.
what's the word? Trademarking.
Actually, I also
Copyright.
think it wasn't 4 races; it was 4 classes, which 2 of the races were.
Well, there was actually a lot of like confines for like what rate or what class you could play depending on like your race. Because I'm pretty sure humans and dwarves were only allowed to be fighters, and elves were only fighters or magic users. And Hobbit, they actually did get in trouble for legally because they used Hobbit, and the people who owned Lord of the Rings at the time were like, hey, you can't do that, you don't own that. So they had to change it to halflings in later revisions.
Wow, the more you know.
Consider I was half right then.
You were indeed. We are going on to our second statement. This one might be a little bit more vague, but it involves one of my favorite things, which is Faerun. Now, the oldest supplement for D&D, called Forgotten Realms, was designed by Ed Greenwood, and it introduced classic characters such as Drizzt Do'Urden and the Mage Elminster, as well as the continent of Faerun and its pantheon. Real quick. Okay. Buzzers reset. Please buzz in if you know the answer.
Actually, it only introduced Drizzt.
That is incorrect. Is anyone in for the steal?
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The oldest supplement for D&D, called Forgotten Realms, was designed by Ed Greenwood. It introduced classic characters such as Drizzt Do'Urden and the Mage Elminster, as well as the continent of Faerun and its pantheon. Sophia?
Drizzt was introduced in novels, actually.
That is incorrect.
No, damn it.
I'm just gonna try.
Mhm.
Actually, it's not the oldest
That's correct.
supplement.
Oh, that is
Can
what
you-
is no.
I will say,
No.
if anyone wants to go in for the steal, I'm gonna reset the buzzer real quick so that you guys can do this. If anyone wants to go in for the steal, can you tell me what the oldest supplement actually is? Jazz?
Was it Neverwinter?
It was not. Sophia, you have one chance.
Yeah, I think it was. What's it called? It's where Vecna is from. It's Darkon. No, it's not. I don't know. I don't remember.
It was Greyhawk.
Greyhawk, damn it!
First supplement introduced for D&D. That
Oof.
second point goes to... Please tell me again how to pronounce it. I
Oh.
can't...
Adoron. It's like saying
Adoron.
moron, but instead of the M sound, it's an A.
Oh no! Adoron, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm that person who learned how to speak words because I read too much when I was a child. So I can't pronounce anything to save my life.
Oh, I'm big mood, same. This actually was just the mashing of someone trying to give me a compliment, but also calling me a moron.
Oh man.
I thought it was really cute, though.
I love it. I do love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gotta make sure I have everything in my background muted. All right, here we go on to the third one. I gotta go and reset the buzzer once more. No, actually, I wasn't supposed to do that. Everyone, please buzz in. I messed up. Thank you. Okay. After I read the question, I'll reset the buzzer for you guys. All right. Dragon Magazine released 430 issues until its cancellation in 2015, at which point it was rebranded The Dungeon and continued as an online-only magazine. All right. Sophia, you buzzed in first.
Actually, it was rebranded as Dungeon Magazine. No.
Technically, you got what was wrong with the sentence, and you're very, very, very close, but that isn't the name that it rebranded to. It was a different name.
Damn it.
Jazz, you buzzed in second. Can you steal?
Actually, it was rebranded as Dragon Plus.
That is correct.
No.
I'm sorry. Jazz, you have stolen the point for question number 3.
Good job.
Best
I
point.
will not get that story.
It wasn't until I was looking up stuff to ask for this panel that I actually realized that Dragon Magazine canceled. I thought that it was still going on as like a in-print thing that you could get physical copies of.
Yeah.
I've started printing them because I can't read PDFs.
That's smart. That's what I should do. Get that fancy glossy paper.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right. On to number 4 here. The very first monster manual added over 350 new monsters to the game, including the unicorn, the oblex, and the red dragon. Sophia.
Actually, Oblex was introduced in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes.
That is correct. That is 100% correct.
It was made by a young boy, I think.
Yeah,
Nice.
Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh,
I
that's
actually didn't know that.
It's horrifying. We need to worry about that kid.
That is true. It was honestly really, really difficult trying to find a monster that hasn't been around since the very, very beginning. Not a whole lot of beasties added after first edition. The original monster manual has pretty much gone more or less unchanged since 1E.
Wow.
Let's see. Number 5. All right. In 5th edition, dragons or drakes come in 2 main categories, chromatic and metallic, and they have 12 stages of life, each with their own challenge rating. Sophia.
Actually, they have fewer stages. They have hatchling, young, adult, and ancient. So 4.
That is incorrect. They do have 12 stages according to the D&D table for dragons.
What?
Can you read the question again?
Yeah, of course. In 5th edition, dragons, or drakes, come in 2 main categories, chromatic and metallic, and they have 12 stages of life, each with their own challenge rating.
Can I go?
Yeah, I forgot to reset the buzzer. I'm sorry.
Actually, dragons and drakes are different?
That's correct.
Ooh.
Drake is a subset of dragon, according to Dungeons and Dragons. I know that there's a lot of argument that dragons, drakes, worms, wervings are all different I don't have an opinion in this discourse. I just know what Dungeons and Dragons tells me, and they tell me that a drake is a subset of a dragon.
The more
Yep.
you know.
The more you know.
Literally guessing my way to that win, though, guys.
I
That,
wanted.
I had buzzed in with that answer
Oh,
after
no.
Sophia.
I'm so sorry.
It's alright.
Go. Are we on 6 now? Goodness gracious. Alright. The 9th level abjuration spell Wish is often considered to be the strongest in the game, allowing feats such as the
Sorry, the
replication.
buzzer is not reset.
Oh shoot. Thank you. Now it's reset. Okay. The 9th level
That's fine.
abjuration. No, it isn't.
Mm.
Everyone buzz in?
Not for me. Oh, sorry, it was me who had it buzzed in.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jazz, go ahead and buzz in as well.
Yep.
There we go. Alright. The 9th level abjuration spell Wish is often considered to be the strongest in the game, allowing feats such as the replication of any 8th level or lower spell, restoring hit points to up to 20 creatures at once, or granting resistance to a damage type or magical effect of your choice. Buzz in if you know. Sophia.
Actually, it's
Sorry.
not abjuration, it's evocation.
You did spot what was wrong with the sentence, but evocation. It is not an evocation spell. I'm sorry. Can anyone tell me what the correct school of magic is? Jazz, you buzzed in second. Would you like to try to go for the
It's a
steal?
divination spell, isn't it?
It is not divination.
Can I buzz in?
Sophia, you may buzz in again.
Conjuration?
It is conjuration.
Yes.
Point for you, Sophia.
Yes.
Here we go.
Closer to victory.
Here we go. This one is about Curse of Strahd, and it is, as far as I'm concerned, spoiler-free. So I don't think it's gonna ruin the Curse of Strahd
Sorry,
campaign
the
if you're
buzzer's
playing
not
it right
reset for me.
now. Oh shoot. Oh, it's okay. I reset it at the end of the statement so that you guys know when to buzz in. Yeah. Try to eliminate all of the lag that we can. Alright. Though there are many ways to introduce players to the Ravenloft campaign Curse of Strahd, many DMs prefer to start them in or near the village of Barovia. That way, they can meet Ismark, the Burgomaster's son, and escort his twin sister Irina to Vallaki. Reset. Sophia, you buzzed in first.
Actually, Irina isn't his twin sister. She's his adopted sister.
That is correct. Another point for you.
As I hope for this prize.
So slow at clicking the buzzer.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Don't apologize. It's a game that you're meant to win. It's going to get a little bit competitive. There are winners.
I've got to fix my reaction speed for next time.
Gotta have your hand hovering over that button. All right. Everyone's favorite fiend since 3rd edition, Tieflings finally got their long-awaited sub-races with the release of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. They include infernal heritages such as Asmodeus, Dispater, Glazia, Bazilbul, Fierna, Mephistopheles, Mammon, Levistus, and Zariel. Jazz, you got that one first.
Actually, they got a winged variant as well.
That is technically true. I'm going to give that to you.
Yay.
The Tieflings first got sub-races in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, including Devil's Tongue Tiefling and Winged Tieflings were amongst the first sub-races rather than the different infernal heritages. That is a point for Jazz. Sorry?
And Wild Tiefling, I think?
A Devil's Tongue, a Feral, and a Winged Tiefling,
Feral,
I believe.
not Wild.
Mm-hmm. Devil's Tongue Tiefling, you may also remember from Critical Role, because that's what Mollymock subrace was. He was a Devil's Tongue tiefling, which is why he could
Don't tell
cast
again.
Vicious Mockery. What? Oh.
She's finding it entertaining that I'm on a stream. Say hello. Yes.
I'm not looking at them.
Say hello.
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 She was shy of a camera.
All right. This one is going back a little bit to the beginning of Dungeons and Dragons. And this one, all right, cool. Everyone's buzzed in. And this one is
Oops, I'm
that.
not buzzed in.
Oh,
Now I am.
there you go. Gary Gygax's daughter Lucy chose the name Dungeons and Dragons from a list that he gave her when she was 2 years old. Buzz in if you know. Jazz? You're muted.
No. Now
No.
you're muted, I think.
I think your headphones might be messing up.
I'll plug it in and out again.
Oh, there we
There
go.
we go.
I can hear you now.
No.
Nope.
Okay, what's...
They unplugged again. We can't hear your mic.
Did she...
Are
Not
they
bad?
frozen?
Okay.
Can you hear me yet?
Yes.
No, yeah.
Was she older than 2?
No, she was 2 years old. Sophia, you buzzed in next. Would you like to try to go for the steal?
Yeah. Did it say 12 entries on the list?
Nope, it was just a list.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say that it was his son who picked out the name.
You are close, but that is incorrect. Adarin, would you like to go for the steal?
Yeah, I'll buzz in for the humor of it. I don't
Okay.
know. He didn't have kids. Like, he didn't have a kid pick the name of Dungeons and Dragons. That's my guess.
No, he did have a daughter that picked the name.
Oh, wait, is her name not Lucy? Is that what it is?
That is correct.
Aw.
Her name is Cindy. It was very
Okay.
close. I will give you that point. I was seconds away from just telling you guys the answer.
We're all like circling it.
That's why I like this version of trivia, is that you can just guess.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. All of the, I guess like all of the steps are laid out. You just pick at words until you say like that one's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Gosh, how far in are we now?
About 30 minutes in?
Oh no, I was thinking question wise because I didn't remember my questions. I think we're on to question number 10. You guys are going through them a lot faster than I thought.
We can slow down and ponder it more.
Cool, we just gotta, do more bits in between.
Yeah, we're not, like, can give it a minute so we can look up the answers beforehand.
Yeah.
yeah.
If we all get it wrong, we just get to Google it.
I think, that would actually be really funny if no one knows it. It's like whoever can Google the fastest. Go to your search engine of choice.
I'm using Bing.
Oh, you could have at least chosen like a good search engine.
No, I like to be at a disadvantage.
I like to nerf myself for the fun of it. Hey Nova.
For the
She
sports.
finally came closer to me, so we're gonna throw my cat on stream real quick.
So cute.
I'd recommend using Ecosia as your browser because you get to plant trees as well as finding your answers.
That is a very good search engine. Nova is the mascot for everything that I do. Her full name is Supernova, which I tend to have to call her whenever I'm doing streams, else she will get mixed up with Gift Nova Gaming, who I'm in
My
a D&D
girlfriend.
game with. Yes. who I'm in a D&D game with, and often I will yell at my cat, and Nova will be like, "Why are you yelling at me? I'm just sitting here."
Bro, I'm just sitting here.
I'm just sitting here. All right. The Sphinx, a sort of classic creature from history, which also is featured in Dungeons and Dragons, is immune to any effect that would sense its emotions or read its thought, as well as any divination spell that it refuses, and it can cast spells up to 8th level. Buzz in if you know. Sophia, you buzzed in first.
You said buzz-in if you know, but it's still just a guess. I
That's
think
acceptable.
I think it's immune to any divination spell that it aims to find it.
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
Jazz, you buzzed in second. Would you like to steal?
Actually can it cast up to 9th level spells?
That is correct. It is a 9th level spellcaster.
Nice.
That was a complete guess.
Wait, Andrew Sphinx or the Gyno Sphinx, or both of them?
That's really funny that you say that, because I was about to award a bonus point to whoever could tell me the 2 varieties of Sphinx.
Did I ruin that, or do I still get it?
I'm going to give you that point for knowing Andro Sphinx and Gyno Sphinx. This
No,
one is
the
from...
Pathfinder Sphinx. So it's like, is it the same?
This I think that this is just the Gyno Sphinx that it was. I didn't look up anything about the Andro Sphinx. Alrighty. I always have my notes spread over several different Google documents, so sometimes it takes me a while to find them. You will also see me doing this in Mousecapades, and I apologize all the time.
Honestly, a big
Don't.
mood as a DM.
Yeah. Because like I'll have the notebook that I want to like keep all of my notes in so that it's together and it's organized, and then I'll be at work and I'll be like, oh, this is a great idea, I gotta write it down. So I grab a sticky note and I throw it in like my purse, and then my notes just end up everywhere. It's incredible. All right.
I just have about 3 different notebooks because everything's on paper.
I always need more notebooks that I buy because they look nice and then I don't write in them.
I want to point out this very cool comment from the chat from
Oh,
Tessimus
please do.
that just says, you can't read a Sphinx's mind because it has no thoughts, and I really like that.
What?
I didn't know that. Is that really why you can't read a Sphinx's thoughts?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Maybe, like, in reality, you can't because it has no thoughts, because it's a statue.
That's how I'm gonna run Sphinxes in my games now. They just don't think. Head empty.
I was about to say, I want to see the meme of it now. No thoughts, head empty. I'm real quick going to actually toss my cat out of the room because she's about to knock over this trash can up here.
No.
Give me a moment, I'm so sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
Nova. Such a cute cat. No, I'm just a punk.
My favorite punk, though.
My cat has never eaten before, ever, in her whole life. In the 4 years that I've had her. The way that she acts, she has never been given food before.
Parents, why do you do this to me?
Why can't I not see the Twitch chat? This makes me sad. I don't know if I like minimized it bad or something, but can't see
Maybe
the
you
Twitch chat.
collapsed it?
There it is! I found it. I did collapse it, you were correct.
I always get confused when I do that. Where is it? No!
I'm not very skilled at Twitch, I'll be the first to admit this.
Fair.
Alrighty. In 5th edition, we're moving on to our next question now.
Cool.
In 5th edition, the following classes are available to play: Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. The subclasses are available for choosing at 3rd level. Buzz in if you know. Jazz, you got that one first.
No.
Everyone buzzed in so fast. It was
What
immediate.
question I know?
Some classes get to choose at second level.
That is correct. I'm debating if I should.
I can give examples if you want.
Actually, I'm going to give you the point, and then if someone else can give me examples for which classes get their subclasses before third level. Let's see who buzzed in after you. Sophia, that was you. Can you please give me?
There are some subclasses like Sorcerer and Warlock who get theirs at first level.
I have a different example. If
I'm
that will
Druid
also
get
give me.
theirs at second.
I know the others
Never
as well, but I'm
mind.
giving it to Daria.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
There are 2 more classes that get their subclasses before third level. If anyone knows them,
Clerics, I know as well.
Sophia.
And
Wizards.
No.
Gets theirs.
Yeah,
at
second.
third.
Oh, I was thinking of 2 other ones. You're probably correct on wizards, actually. I don't know anything about wizards. I've never played one. I'm sorry.
Oh, they're my favorite class. They're very cool.
I have two specifically in mind that have not been said.
But yeah, you said Cleric before, Jazz.
yeah.
Yep. And so in that case, there's one
Sorcerer.
left.
Warlock.
Let's go better than that.
This is a really wild guess, but is it Artificer? Because I don't know anything about that class.
I have no idea because I don't know anything about that class
They're
either.
also third.
Mhm. I know that Nova plays one.
Is it
Yeah.
Bard?
Nope.
No,
No.
Bard is third.
It's
I don't really
Druid.
play Bards.
Druid.
it's Druid. That is
Oh, I
correct.
said
Oh,
Druid
Jazz.
before.
level?
You
Jazz
said
said-
Druid?
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. I didn't hear it.
yeah.
That is
Never played a
A-okay.
Druid.
My
Me
very
either.
first.
They're
my
fun,
very
I
first
recommend
D&D
them.
Character was a Druid.
I played a Circle of Wildfire one just before all the Australia wildfires started, which was bad timing.
Yeah.
I know about bad timing. Mousecapades, my campaign that I run every other Friday on Here's That Limits Here. It's about a tiny apocalypse, and one of them is a
Oh no.
one of the boons of the apocalypse is that there's a plague going around. And COVID wasn't a thing before I started this game, and I feel
Oh.
bad every time a new episode starts. And they gotta go talk to all the sick people. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so very, very sorry. I didn't mean for this to go how it did. No, we are actually, I believe, halfway through our questions, so this might actually end up being a shorter panel than 2 hours. I apologize to everyone who makes the schedule for me not being good with timing.
I mean, we
So-
just
That's
keep
fine.
talking.
Yeah, we could just vibe.
You're right. Vibing is so important.
That's
But
my whole-
actually, I think what we are going to do right now is go to break. And so I'm going to direct some questions at the Twitch chat. The rest of you can do whatever you would like for these next 15 minutes. Would you like to know what the points are currently? Would you like to know who's in first place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like it might be a tie.
Jazz, yes or no? You're unplugged.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I accidentally had it muted on my headset. That's what
Uh-oh.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah? It's a 3-way tie for first place.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, here's my pitch. What if we all just like help each other and then we split the prize?
Hey.
You just get
Have
to
it
include
wrote
all
about
your
all of our
characters.
characters.
Yeah, they just have a nice picnic together or something.
It sounds like Carrie had thought of vibes, to be honest.
Hmm.
I think those are the vibes that that we need in these troubling times. But also, no, my battle royale. You were supposed to hate each other.
We rise up against you. Capital.
I don't think it's possible for people who like D&D to hate each other. We're just a pure community.
I think you're right. I mean, it comes and goes, but for the most part, I have met some very, very nice people in the tabletop RPG community.
Yeah.
So now we are going to go to our 15-minute break. Please remember to not turn off your cameras. Just mute yourself. And then go vibe. Go have fun. Get some food. Go to the bathroom. Take a nap. I'll be here. And Twitch chat. Hello. I'm addressing y'all now. I have a couple of questions to ask everyone who is currently watching. Thank you so much for doing so, by the way. When I put out applications for this panel, I asked to have a question for the Twitch chat included, so that there could be a couple of prizes. The break might be a little bit longer than what we have questions for, but that's okay, because I might end up taking 10 minutes to myself. So yeah, Twitch chat, everyone who is there, I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. They are going to be not the same as what I've been doing, so you don't have to correct me, you just have to give me the answer. Honor system, I'm going to assume that you guys are not using Google. Please be fair to your fellow little contestants. Whoever gets it first and also correctly wins a 100-word Grabble written by me by whatever it is that you want me to write about, essentially. It'll be either through like Twitter or through Discord that like I message you that I message you for this. So just please make sure that you have like DMs open or contact me on Twitter at Sleepless Seymour, you know, like with proof that it was you. Anyways, so now we are going to go on to the first question. Selune, the Moon Maiden, was worshipped by many, including wanderers, questers, navigators, seekers, and all lycanthropes. Lycanthropy is often known by the euphemism Selune's kiss. Does anyone know the answer? It is now up to you, chat. Now I'm gonna go ahead and also repeat the question for you guys, just in case. Selune, the Moon Maiden, was worshipped by many, including wanderers, questers, navigators, seekers, and all lycanthropes. Lycanthropy was often known by the euphemism Selune's kiss. Hey, Tyler Moon Sage, that is correct. It is not all lycanthropes that worship Selune. It is only the good-aligned and sometimes the neutral-aligned werewolves as well. Congratulations to you. You win the Drabble. I'm going to write down your name. Tyler Moon Sage. And if you want to post your Twitter in the chat, or if you want to contact me on Twitter at Sleepless Seymour, only 2 S's in the middle, whichever you are more comfortable with. I don't actually know if there is a DM system through Twitch because I don't use it. Alright. We're gonna go on to the next one for you guys. Where is the city of Necropolis, ruled by death, located? Where is the city of Necropolis, ruled by death, located? The Anarok Desert is not correct. Commit is also not correct. Right, that is a-okay. It doesn't look like I can see anyone in chat who's gotten this one, but that's alright. The answer to that one is Darkon in Ravenloft. And the last one for you guys there in chat is it a D&D monster or is it prescription medication? Busbar. Is it a D&D monster or is it prescription medication? Busbar. This one only has 2 options, so it may be a little easier. Watch the chat now, and Flick Nightshade, you are first and you are correct. It is a medication for anxiety. Gonna write down your name as well, and Flick Nightshade, if you could please hit me up on Twitter at Sleepless Seymour with only 2 S's in the middle. And you win a 100-word drabble of your choosing. Yeah, if you want to switch over your prize, that's completely fine. I can't read jokes through text though, so I hope that wasn't sarcasm. But indeed, Tyler Moonsage, you can give your prize over to Encherry. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. So, Encherry, if you could please message me on Twitter at Sleepless Seymour, only 2 S's in the middle, and you win a 100-word drabble about whatever it is that you would like me to write about. I'm gonna write this down here. 1313. Yep. All right. Thank you so much, producer, for linking. Oh, in the chat, we have raised $700 for Doctors Without Borders now. Heck yeah! Air horns. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Please also check out Chromatic Chimera, who is also hosting their own session for CouchCon, their own events that are going on there. And in addition to everything here, everything else that is online, also just please make sure to take care of yourself and stuff. Take care of yourself physically, take care of yourself mentally. If you need to take a nap, take a nap. Just in general, be safe. Things are hairy. Don't forget to hydrate. Yes, take your meds. Remember that we love you. It's gonna be aight. Alright, it looks like we have about, whoop, if I can. Sometimes I'm okay with tech, sometimes I'm not. Been out 8 to 10 minutes, so in that case, cool. 1 hour, 10 minutes. Sweet. Sweet. Alright, so we've got about 5 minutes left in the break. Went through all the questions a lot faster, so I'm going to mute myself. If we have an on break screen that we can switch to for the last 5 minutes of this break so that I can pop myself a bag of popcorn, go ahead and go to that. Thank you so much. I'm going to shout out Samwise Gamgee because this would not be possible without her. I appreciate our producers very much. Please always make sure to thank your producers, because God knows I can't do anything myself. All right. See you guys in a bit. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the actually D&D trivia panel. I am joined by my lovely panelists, contestants, whatever they would like to be titled. We've got Jazz, Sophifa, and Adoron, which I think is the first time that I've pronounced that correctly.
I think so, yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, we are currently a little bit over halfway through our series of questions here, and you guys have managed to get yourself into a three-way tie. Congratulations. I don't know what I'm going to do if this ends in a three-way tie. I might save one question at the end for a tiebreaker. Wasn't something that I planned on, but it happened nonetheless.
Oh yeah, fight to the death. That sounds correct.
Yeah, just from a distance.
Sounds a little bit
Yes,
brutal.
right.
6 feet apart.
Fight to the death from 6 feet apart.
Just long range weapons only.
The scene in Anchorman where all of like the newscasters get back come together and have just a fight in the alleyway. All right, we are going to jump in with some more questions, which should be in quotation marks questions, because these are just, incorrect facts that I'm presenting you guys with that you have to correct me on, because what does a nerd love more than correcting people, right?
Having fun.
Right. That's true. Some people find a lot of fun in correcting people.
I know. I always feel bad. It's like...
It's also true. Right? Here we go. If everyone could buzz in so that I may reset at the end of the question. Alrighty. Of the 6 main stats in 5th edition, strength, dexterity, constitution, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma, constitution stands out as the only one without a sublet category such as stealth, persuasion, trap finding, or athletics. Give it a minute to think over. Buzzers reset. Jazz, you got that real quick.
Finding isn't a check under dexterity.
Say that one more time.
Finding isn't a check under dexterity.
Did you say trap finding?
Yeah.
That is correct. Trap finding just doesn't exist in 5e.
I didn't even hear you say that.
Oh no. I guess I should start saying them twice, shouldn't I? Because this is the second time that someone hasn't been able to hear me say a question.
It's okay.
Apologize. As a hard of hearing person, I should be more aware of that.
I think I was just zoning out, trying to find something else.
I know
I
that
was
feeling.
sitting there trying to count stats and I was like, is that all? Is there only 6?
I almost put will instead of wisdom, and then I was like, no, that one's too easy.
That's what I was expecting to come up from that.
I started with 2E and then switched over to 3.5 very, very quickly, and the stats are still something that in 5th edition are always messed up. Dungeoneering isn't a thing anymore, trap finding isn't a thing anymore, fortitude saves aren't a thing anymore.
I swap between systems a lot, so it's always like, make a sense motive. Insight.
Right, yeah.
I dread starting to understand the Witcher TTRPG because there are, 18 different stats?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's too many.
Yeah. I'm gonna need help when I play that system to learn it.
The only thing that we do have to praise is that we don't have to deal with THACO anymore. It was in, I think, 2nd edition. And it's like to hit armor class above 0. And it was a whole convoluted thing for attacking.
So unnecessary.
Very unnecessary. There was too much math in the early editions.
Yeah.
On to the next question. The process of cereromorphosis is when an illithid tadpole takes over the mind of the creature that it enters and transforms them into what we know as mind flayers. Going to repeat this one because it's got a lot of dumb words in it. The process of cereromorphosis is when an illithid tadpole takes over the mind of the creature that it enters and transforms them into what we know as mind flayers. You know the answer to this. Buzz in now. Sophia, that was quick.
Actually, it doesn't take over the mind, it takes over the body and eats the brain.
While it is technically true, that is not the answer that we are looking for.
Dang it.
Anyone else buzz in? Adoran?
Don't know if this is true, but actually it doesn't turn them into mind flayers.
You're close, but that is not correct. Jazz, do you have it for the steal?
I don't have a clue, but are they known as illithids, not mind flayers?
Illithids and mind flayers are technically synonyms.
Can you repeat the question once more?
Absolutely. If everyone can buzz in, we can just kind of
Retry.
do another retry. The process of cereromorphosis is when an illithid tadpole takes over the mind of the creature it enters and transforms them into what we know as mind flayers.
It didn't refresh.
I'm still buzzed in.
Oh, my bad. Buzz in if you know it.
I don't really.
Oh no.
This one where we can Google it.
You can. I don't know how easy it's going to be to find, but I will give you guys the next couple of seconds to Google as fast as you can. Whoever can find an answer first.
Actually,
Yes, Sophia?
It's not when the tadpole goes into the mind, but it's when it's actually. Or did you say it's like when it's actually transforms, which could be like later? It's not right away.
That is a part of it, but the process does begin when
Okay.
the tadpole enters into the brain of the creature. Gonna give you guys a couple more seconds before I call it.
Wait, did you say creature?
Huh?
Did you say creature?
Yeah.
Humanoid.
That is correct.
Yay!
I buzzed in.
Oh no!
Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I found it while you were talking the first time, but it's fine. You said it first.
No, but it's cheating.
No,
it's okay. I'll get the next one.
Yeah, that is indeed correct. Only humanoids, and even then, not every humanoid, transforms into a mind flayer. Some other creatures will transform into other things, such as a beholder becomes a mind witness, which is the worst thing that you can throw at your players. A Chul becomes an Uchulon, deep gnomes become Mozgrikins, dragons become brain stealer dragons, and ropers become Europeans, which are just all worse versions of what they originally were. Not great to come across, but
yeah, mind flayer dragons I think are probably the worst, but the scariest for me is like the roper mind flayer because they have like infinite range and infinite tentacles, and it's like no.
Yeah, as
My
far as
favorite-
combinations that I don't want to see, beholders and mind flayers seem to be like the two worst things, and sandwiching them together always just gives me the shivers. Jazz, you were saying something. Go ahead.
My favorite alternate beholder has to be the undead one. It's wonderful.
I think
Beholder zombie, yeah.
I think a beholder can also become a lich, which is something that I was thinking about giving to my players, and it has a different name. But it's also pretty terrifying.
You mean death tyrants?
I believe so. Let me look that up. Sorry, this is our new fun piece of trivia.
It's when
how terrifying Montflays.
It's when a what would they call it? Beholder is like so afraid of death they dream themselves immortal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
It's real bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're really cool.
All right, fantastic. Going on to the next one.
Let me buzz them quickly.
Yes. The five-headed dragon queen Tiamat, who made her first appearance in the 1980s D&D animated series as the first creature that our intrepid adventurers fought upon entering the world of D&D, has since become one of the most well-known Dungeons & Dragons characters, almost reaching a godlike status in-game on level with Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. I'm gonna do this again, because those were also a lot of words. The five-headed dragon queen Tiamat, who made her first appearance in the 1980s D&D animated series as the first enemy that our intrepid heroes met and fought, following them entering into the world of Dungeons and Dragons, has since become one of the most well-known D&D figures, almost reaching a godlike status in game on par with the Platinum Dragon god Bahamut. Please buzz in if you know the answer. Jazz.
Actually,
neck.
she first appeared in the Monster Manual.
That is correct. She appeared in the very, very first Monster Manual. She's been around
Is she?
for a while. What's up?
Is she not actually a god?
She's considered
No.
godlike. A lot of people worship her as a god, especially in 5e. She's got her whole cult and everything. Yeah.
Maybe
That is
close to
also
the devil.
yeah, that is also why the question said godlike instead of just a straight up god. I felt like that was something
Because that would have been
gonna...
my guess.
Right, we have another question about editions other than 5th, which, again, the only one that people care about is 5th and 3.5. Everyone loves multiclassing, and no one loves it more than 4th edition, which introduced prestige classes as a type of multiclassing that branched off from a main class, rather than combining two different classes. Once more, everyone loves multiclassing, and no one loves it more than 4th edition, which introduced prestige classes as a type of multiclass that branched off from a main class rather than combining two of them. Buzz in if you know the answer. Adoron, that was you.
Cool. I don't know if this is true, but actually it's not 4th edition, it's 3.5.
That is what is incorrect, but you technically got that correction wrong. I'm so sorry. Sophia, you were next. Can you steal it?
It is from AD&D 2nd edition.
That is incorrect as well.
No!
Jazz, can you come in for the steal?
I think it was introduced in the original Dungeons and Dragons.
In the very first one?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Ah.
So I'm going to give this one to Adoron, because I technically got it correct. It was just 3rd edition, not 3.5.
Oh.
Actually, I think Tyler got this because they said, actually, not everyone loves multiclassing.
Yeah, actually, I hate multiclassing because it's
been
much work.
You guys are correct. That is correct. As much as I love multiclassing in concept, like I don't think I've ever actually multiclassed any of my characters.
One of my flatmates does it with pretty much every character. It's a running joke now.
I love multiclassing, it's really fun.
I have someone in my home game who played a sorcerer, and everyone else was like a rogue of some kind, and they always spoke thieves' cant around her, and she was very distressed by this, and she wanted to know what was going on. And so she came to me and she was like, I'm gonna multiclass into rogue the next time that we level up because I want to know thieves' cant. I'm like, is that the only reason that you're multiclassing into rogue? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, don't do that.
That's the best reason, to be fair.
It's like, I'll give you a book. Like, you go talk to the Thieves Guild and maybe you can learn it. Like,
you've just hung around them long enough that you figured it out. You know what they're saying.
Right. It was very funny. They would say the most like blatant things, and then they would be like, "Thieves can't, thieves can't, thieves can't."
Is it kind of like fast talk in Call of Cthulhu then? Where
I don't
you're
know
just
what that is.
Nice.
It's where you say things really fast to like confuse everyone else around you?
Not
Kind
quite.
of similar, but it's
It's a whole mix of things that hasn't quite been defined to my knowledge.
yeah.
Like it's hand signs and secret phrases and sometimes symbols.
The most like common version that I see of it, and like if you're using it in like casual conversation, is kind of saying very very normal things that have like hidden meanings. Essentially, like the way they do in like spy service, like the military, where it's like the eagle has left the nest means like the target's on the move or whatever, or it's like
Or
egg has
sleeping
landed.
with the fishes?
Yeah.
That's
We
not
always
good anymore.
we always pretend in my home game that everyone is just talking about the weather all the time. The package is in the mail. That's another good example. But yeah, I don't think we've ever actually gotten like translations of Thieves Can't. Um, Not to plug myself, I do some world building. That's one of the. I'm gonna eat my microphone real quick. That's one of the things that I work on. If you want to supplement for Thieves Can't translations, please follow me on Twitter.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be released. Pretty much everything that I do world building wise is filling in all of the gaps that 5e leaves for me. I have holy books for the entire Faerunian pantheon because I'm too obsessed with fake gods. And they didn't give me prayers for my cleric characters to recite, so I had to write my own.
Fair.
Alright, next up. High elves, also known as sun elves, are the most common type of elf. Originating from the Feywild, they are beings of incredible natural skill, beauty, and magic. Once more, high elves, also known as sun elves, are the most common type of elf. Originating from the Feywild, they are beings of incredible natural skill, beauty, and magic. Buzz in if you know the answer. Adoron, that was you! Very close! Once again, everyone buzzed in at like the same time.
Actually, high elves are not the most common type of elves.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
See who buzzed in second. Sophia, can you steal it?
Actually, high elves are not only comprised of sun elves, they're also comprised of moon elves.
That is correct.
Oh.
Yeah, a sun elf is only a type of high elf. It is not a synonym. Sometimes high elves are also included with like Eladrin. I don't know why it says that on like the fandom wiki because I've never found it in a book. But
They're entirely different subclasses, aren't they?
Yeah.
I have played
Subraces.
Subraces, yeah.
I think
Eladrin...
I think it's a lore thing where it's just like sun elves descended from Eladrin who like got stuck in Faerun, but I also could be very wrong about that.
I think they all like come from Eladrin, but maybe some Eladrin that emigrated into Faerun later than other elves.
The Eladrin tend to stick more to the Feywild than other like traditional elves like the Sun, Moon, and Wood elves. And when it comes to like making a player character, Eladrin aren't even really considered like an elf subrace. They're considered like a race on their own that are kind of connected. Whereas when you're going into elf subraces, you've got like high elf because moon elves and sun elves don't necessarily have like separate stats. You've got high elf, you've got wood elf, and then you've got like of course the dark elf or the drow. Which it took a very very long time for them to be considered for being player characters, and people are still debating to this day whether a drow should be considered their own race or a subrace of elves.
The only thing that is canon is that they speak with an Australian accent.
Is that true?
Down under.
It's because they come from a land down under.
I love it. I just give all
I can't claim responsibility. It's a meme that goes around.
I've never heard that. I need to start doing that now. I need to learn how to do an Australian accent first.
Yeah.
So far, all of my drow have French accents. Which I blame Chris Perkins for.
I thought we were gonna blame Mustang.
That's true. Mustangs also does that. You should hear them speak as your Laxel. It is it is what some of us would call intimidating. Blood always runs cold.
That's a good compliment for a character voice, I gotta say.
I love Mustangs for their interpretation of pretty much like any of the villains that they've put up against us. For those of you who don't know, Mustangs are Sarah and I, amongst a couple of others whose names you've probably heard thrown around multiple times. We have a podcast that we do together, a actual play podcast, which has episodes that have yet to be released. But once it happens, I'm pretty excited about it. It's just a audio thing, no visual, so pop it on in the car, at work. Keep your eyes on the road when you're driving. At home, fall asleep listening to it, whatever. You might remember we used to do what we do in Barovia, and this is our rebranding, which
I loved what we do in Barovia.
Me too.
I will always think about it. It was the first podcast that I ever did, so I have to give that praise to Mustangs for kind of being my step into this community. Without having done WWDIB, I would never be doing what I am now, and so I am eternally grateful.
Also, still gotta start podcasting or streaming a game.
Just a quick fun fact about what we do in Barovia. I listened to it when I was in the hospital for the first time. And it was really like comforting and nice to have something to listen to.
Oh, that's really sweet.
It's such a good podcast.
Thank you. We got 2 episodes out, and that was it. We've recorded so many. All right. Next question. Next statement for you to correct me on. I can't be nostalgic.
That we were doing this.
I was gonna say I can't be nostalgic forever. As much as I want to be, like, I can't be nostalgic forever. I could just ramble about D&D.
Maybe with the leftover time at the end.
Yeah,
Okay, let's rest for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's speed through the rest of these so we can just vibe at the end. All right. Many games employ what are called home rules, including the concept of surprise round, flanking, the death spiral feature, and sprinting. One more time. Many games employ what are called home rules, or homebrew rules, depending on if you want to add extra syllables in there. Home rules include the concept of a surprise round, flanking, the death spiral feature, and sprinting. Buzz in if you know the answer. Sophia, you got that first.
Actually, flanking is a optional rule in the DMG.
That is correct. Flanking is optional. It is not a home rule. Most people
also, I think death spiral is just a term.
I have no idea what that is.
I thought it was the surprise round. I thought that was the...
A lot of people think that the surprise round is the like canon rule or an optional rule, but it's something that people just kind of started like integrating when you initiate combat essentially, and like you do get like the jump on your enemies, or if the enemies get the jump on you. The initiative is rolled as normal. However, the ones who are surprised enter into the surprise condition, which means that they can't just do anything for that round of combat. It's like a lose a turn. But there is no like actual surprise round because initiative is supposed to proceed as normal.
Also,
and the death spiral feature, because someone confused about that as well, is essentially when you lose hit points, you get weaker, and everyone has their own version of this. I have my own version of this as well, and it's it begins when you have lost 25% of your hit points. You start making like a constitution roll or constitution save at the end of each of your turns, and if you fail it, then you lose 1 hit point. And then when you reach like you've lost half of your hit points, you gain a point of exhaustion, so you start hitting at disadvantage.
So it's like bleeding, kind of?
Pretty much. It's like you incorporate the concept of like bleeding out, and then there's also lingering injuries that you can add on top of that, or like the concept of like shock, A lot of people will say that if you lose half of your hit points in one attack, then you go into what's called system shock, which usually involves some sort of variation of losing a turn as well, or taking on a lingering injury.
I
really
thought the
like this.
first stack of exhaustion gave you disadvantage on ability checks, not attack rolls.
That is probably correct. I don't know right offhand, but I know that as you continue to lose hit points, you will continue to gain points of exhaustion as well. And so if you don't end the fight soon, because even if you get healed, at least in my death spiral again, even if you get healed, the exhaustion points will stay because you need a restoration or just to sleep in order to cure the exhaustion points. So even if you don't die from your wounds, you might die from exhaustion. So go through combats as quick as you can.
The more you know.
Yep. This is also a warning for my players in Mousecapades, because I know you're watching, and I incorporate the death spiral into that game. Be careful. Alrighty. Continue on to the next one, which we are actually pretty close to the end here. So cool. I have hair in my eyes, I'm so sorry. Okay. Where are all my notes? Alright, this one is very short and sweet and simple. And that is that there are 9 alignments to choose from in Dungeon, or not 9 alignments to choose from, but there are 9 alignments in Dungeons and Dragons, of course, made up of the chaotic neutral lawful and evil neutral good combinations. And I'm gonna say that again because I messed it up. In D&D, the alignment system is made up of 9 alignments, combinations of the chaotic neutral lawful and the evil neutral good categories. Please buzz in if you know the answer. Sophia, you got that.
Actually, there is also unaligned.
That is correct. There is a
Yes.
10th alignment.
I'm so happy. I'm sorry.
It is typically attributed to essentially what's called beasts, creatures, non-humanoids more or less. And it is, I'm pretty sure, defined as just not being intelligent enough to have an alignment. Because, dogs can't be evil, can't be good either. They're just
Yes, they
vibing.
can.
That's wrong. All
They're all
dogs are good.
Good, Joe.
Actually,
I've seen Cujo.
Don't listen to her, Mr. Darcy. You're a good boy.
Aww.
It's just down there.
Chat and every
Dog check.
contester is actually, Joe.
Oh no, I'm going to get canceled for not liking dogs. I'm a cat person, it's not my fault.
I don't blame you. Cats are better. Come at me.
You're right. Cats are better. At me on Twitter.
This is a real fight.
At me.
If
Please.
we're talking about the best pet, it's obviously a gecko, so everyone's wrong.
You're
No,
right.
it's guinea pigs.
You're entitled to your wrongful opinion.
Hold on. Hold on, can I throw ferrets into this? I think ferrets are the best.
Mice are pretty cool too.
Oh,
Mice
rats
are
are
very
really
sweet.
cool.
And rabbits.
Mm.
Don't touch your face.
Rabbits are good, but I find that they're so hard to take care of. I used to have roommates who owned a rabbit, and
It's a handful and a half.
it's a handful and a half. They're always tired.
Ah, rats with knives are the best pet. We beefed
That's
it.
with knives.
Rats with knives.
And they can't swim with knives. When
Yeah.
they're holding knives.
Did you
This
know
is
that
sad.
did you know that a spider can hold 8 guns at one time?
They have to be really little guns, though, right?
They're tiny.
Or just
Oh, someone posted in chat. What do you have there? A
A
knife.
knife! Oh.
Like Nightshade, you're correct. How do they stand? Did you know that a spider can hold 7 guns at one time?
Actually, it's only 6. They do need 2 legs.
They can sit on their stomach.
Oh yeah, they could just like lie down.
Mm.
Yeah, but then they're prone and are attacking at disadvantage.
Not ranged attacks.
I think that the idea of an arachnid gunslinger is fantastic. I have a Drider PC who I've yet to assign a class to. Might be a fighter, as opposed as I am to the martial classes. They spin around on their stomach. They have
my
feet.
gosh.
Shooting everywhere, Matrix style.
My cool friends that I DM for in the chat, I am gonna put a gun-wielding spider into your game. And I
Without your
have
knowledge. No.
just
Sorry.
like I killed them all yesterday, and I have no qualms with doing it again with a gun spider.
That
That's
wasn't
gonna
a
be-
joke on Twitter. You
Yeah.
actually killed your
yeah.
players.
All
I'll
but
get
one.
to drawing it tomorrow.
I'm just gonna post gun spider on Twitter, and whoever isn't watching can just not have any context.
I'm tempted to put it into my role-playing quotes channel.
Please
But
do. Please get
I'm
gun
not
spider
sure.
to
I've
trend it on
never
Twitter.
put anything in there that's not happened in Roleplay Society.
So what's the next question?
That's excellent. That is an excellent question because you see, I switched pages from my notes again.
Ah.
I put it in with no explanation at all. It's gun spider.
I love it. I love things without context.
A guider, if you will.
It's the whole channel.
All right, here we go. If I just scroll all the way down here. Interestingly enough, this is the last question.
Oh, I have a
Through-
question.
Yeah?
Does this work like the actual actually, where the last question has nothing to do with what we talked about the entire time?
It is not.
Okay.
But if during the period of me asking this question and you guys answering it, I can think of something that pertains to like daily life and isn't related to D&D, I'll try to throw that one in there. I was trying as hard as I could to not just blatantly rip off. Actually,
I'm sorry.
No,
You
it's
didn't
okay.
change the name. That might have been a good place to start.
Look, I am a simple person. College humor, please don't sue me. I'm not making money. I'm not making money off of this. It's still your.
It's charity.
It's charity.
It's charity. Brennan Lee Mulligan understands. He
Maybe
would
they're
get it.
gonna steal your idea and do a Dungeons and Dragons one.
I think they have like done specific like Dungeons and Dragons questions, and they've done like themed shows. So I wouldn't be
Have
shocked
they?
if there was.
I didn't see
They've
them.
had a D&D episode that Matthew Mercer was on, and he completely
Ah.
destroyed it.
Did he? Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen that
Of
one.
course it did.
I'm gonna have to add that to my watch later.
The other
I-
two contestants kind of gave up like midway through.
Oh, like
It was
wasn't
funny.
Marisha also on it?
There was another episode that was a
Ah.
Valentine's Day episode where the both of them were on together competing
I
against
see.
other
Aw.
couples.
That's
That's
I think-
cute.
I think they also decimated that one.
Wow, powerful couple.
Power couple. Alrighty. For our last question, it is going to pertain to my favorite thing in Dungeons and Dragons, a combination of two things. The first one being Faerun, because I only play Forgotten Realms, and the gods thereof, because I love the gods so much. The gods. This one is going to be short and simple as well. The gods of the Faerunian pantheon, amassed amongst bunch of different races who all tend to worship different things, but all of them being native to Faerun is what combines, or is what they have in
Unites them?
common, essentially. Unites! Thank you! That's it. I just give you a point just for that.
I mean, please.
Some of the gods of the Faerunian pantheon, good or evil, include the elven god Corellin Letharion, the platinum dragon Bahamut, the spider queen Loth, and the god of the morning, or I guess the sun, Pelor.
Can you say that again?
You repeat again?
Yeah. Some of the gods that are included in the Faerunian pantheon, which encompasses all alignments, good, evil, chaotic, lawful, everything in between and otherwise, they include figures such as the elven patron Corellin Letharion, the platinum dragon Bahamut, the god of the sun Pelor, and the spider demon queen herself Loth. Buzz in if you know the answer. Doran, that was close.
This is a total guess, but actually that first one is not.
Corellin Letharion?
Yeah, that first one is the odd man out. Does not fit with.
Incorrect. Sophia, you buzzed in next.
Actually, Pelor isn't the sun god. The morning lord Lathander is the god of the sun.
That
or
is correct.
Aminator, which is Lathander's previous incarnation. Praise the sun.
Deus Volt. That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. Pelor, you will find as the god of the sun in the Greyhawk setting, not the Forgotten Realm setting.
Oh, so he is a sun god. Okay.
That's why I didn't think it was weird. He's also like agriculture.
I think so. Again, yeah. I don't know anything about any other setting rather than Forgotten Realms. I just know Pelor because some of my friends are super into Greyhawk.
I've only ever really used homebrew pantheons and like the Greek and Roman ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that made no sense to me.
I've had a couple of games that I've played where some of the players worship the Greek gods, and it's always interesting because we'll go into it without saying like what the setting is. And so there are people who's like, oh, my patron is Pelor, and someone else is like, yeah, well, my patron is like Shantaea, and someone else is like, my patron is the Moonweaver, and someone else is like, I worship Apollo.
Literally, the first game of D&D I played, we had a cleric, a paladin, and I can't remember what the other thing was, but like they all worshipped different sun gods from different pantheons. So we had our cleric worshipped Apollo, our paladin worshipped Lathander, and I think the kingdom that we were in worshipped Pelor. And so like we were just like, who really owns the sun? Like who actually does the sun stuff?
Or were they the same person with different names?
Perhaps. We did not get too far into that.
I mean, Aminator and Lathander is the same person, just different aspects, kind of. Or Lathander.
Yeah, Lathander was an aspect of Aminator who, after the Second Sundering, became the main aspect of the sun in the morning, amongst other things such as like athletics and life.
And rebirth.
And rebirth.
He's just a jock.
He's just hogging all the names at this point. He needs to share.
It really is. The portfolios of the gods get really convoluted and just kind of let's see. Unfortunately, I don't think that I can stall long enough to find a final question about something unrelated to D&D that is just trivia that you should know for your everyday life.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know it. I only know D&D.
You know what? I'm gonna do one about laundry.
No.
And this one is gonna be real simple. I'm not gonna ask you to correct me. It's just gonna be an A or B. When you're washing your clothes, for those of you who haven't seen College Humor, this is how it goes, I promise. So when you're washing your clothes and you've separated your whites from your colors and you throw your whites into the washing machine, do you set the water to hot or cold? Don't buzz in, just yell it out. This isn't.
Hold.
Hot?
Hot is correct.
I always do hot. No idea.
I do eco-friendly sayings, so everything's on cold.
I was about to say I've never touched the temperature dial on my washing machine. I don't separate my whites and my colors. I throw everything in and hope for the best.
You live a dangerous life.
I like to live life on the edge.
Yeah, I just separate white from everything else, and then like I never have enough white to actually cover them.
I wear all black. Like I don't think that I own any white clothing, and so it's never like applied to me. When I was younger, I would, or at least like my mom would make me separate everything else like by color. So I had a red pile, I had a blue pile, I had a purple pile, I had a green pile. We had a pile just for the jeans, or like denim things. We have like a towels only, and then we have like a linens only pile. I think the only thing that I've kept on to, because I no longer wear colors and I no longer wear jeans, but I do wash my towels separately from the rest of my clothes if they have a load big enough to like be alone, and I try to wash my bed sheet separately as well. But yeah. So Adoran.
Adoran.
That's
Me.
one of these days, I promise you I'll get it.
Don't stress it.
With that point, you have tied for second place.
Oh.
We are now concluding our trivia panel. Additionally, in second place, who you have tied with is Jazz. And both of you, along with our winners from Twitch, Flick Nightshade and Entray 1313, I can't pronounce things, I'm sorry, will win a 100-word drabble written whatever you want me to write about. Sophia, congratulations! You have won! You have won with a whopping 9 points.
My gosh.
Wait,
So
not
how
9
many
points more,
questions
right?
were there? Because I lost count.
I also lost count. When we went to break, you all had 5 points.
Okay.
And now Adoran and Jazz both have 7. Sophia has 9. So I guess 7 plus 7 plus 9 plus 1, because there was one that nobody got.
Math.
24.
Hmm.
24 questions.
Is 24 divisible by 3? I'm just trying to see if there was the potential that we could actually have all
Yes,
tied.
8.
Ah.
8?
Could have been, couldn't
There
there?
could have been a
Yeah.
tie, indeed.
I
It
think
was
also
close.
like I kind of like spoke out of turn because like I buzzed and then got it wrong, and then I asked if I could say it when you had already buzzed in, Dar, and you had to answer.
You still would have won.
It's
Yeah,
alright.
you
Or
won
we
by
would have
enough that
tied.
even just that.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
I
well.
still get a cool 100-word drabble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted everyone to win. I also really like writing, so just, tell me to write
Win.
anything. And
Give
for
me
those of you
anything, Feywild.
yeah, for those of you who have gotten something, please message me on Twitter or wherever. Wherever you're better with contacting, and we can, start on the writing process. For everybody else in chat, first of all, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for this support. This CouchCon is going to last until, I think, Sunday. So be sure to check out also what's going on over on Chromatic Chimera. We have stuff coming up on Heroes Without Limits a little bit later on. And just be sure to check out pretty much everything that we do. It's really awesome having a place where like there's just a bunch of representation for like disabilities and neurodivergencies and chronic illnesses and stuff. It's very, very nice to see and also to be a part of. Heroes That Limits Discord is always available to be joined if you would like to have a fun tabletop role-playing community where you can find a game, where you can talk to other people, where you can pretty much just like make friends and have a whole lot of fun. I have been your host, Joe, Sleepless Seymour on Twitter, Cat in Charge, pretty much everywhere else. I go by they, them pronouns. I cosplay, I write. If you want your own writing, no matter what the length is, I'm doing 100 words for $1. Please hit me up. Huge fan of doing that kind of stuff. And I'm going to throw it over to Jazz now. Please just remind us who it is that you are, and also plug whatever it is that you would like to plug. Tell us where we can find you. Tell us what cool stuff that you have coming up soon.
Okay, so again, I'm at Vulture Jazz on Twitter. You can catch me tomorrow during I can't remember what we called it in the end, but the disability representation panel tomorrow. I think it's on Chromatic Conclave.
Chimera.
Let me
Apparently a information panel, so click that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let
it's
me look
gonna
up
be
more
here.
about that while you guys continue
it's-
talking.
It's
Here's
on
that limit.
Here's Without Limits. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sam.
That's something that I'm a part of too, which I completely forgot to mention. But yeah, you can catch me and Jazz and a couple of other awesome people talking about disability
I'll pop
representation.
the question link into the chat so people can submit their questions.
We've got a Google form. If you have anything that you would like us to address during that panel, please do so. We'll talk about the things that we've seen that are cool, the things that we've seen that are uncool, our tips and tricks for portraying disabilities in your tabletop RPGs, and just kind of like the do's and don'ts in general. Jazz, is there anything else that you would like to add?
So I tend to use they them pronouns on the internet because I'm gender fluid. My pronouns change every day. That's about it. Hopefully you'll see me in some streams soon game-wise, but I'm not in any yet.
There are always opportunities
Mm-hmm.
available, so hopefully indeed soon. Adoran?
Yeah, that's me. You can follow me on Twitter at ethnic_Dorito, where I tweet about weird things that I have found in my room, including old campaign notes and things that my friends say that I didn't like. I also run a stream here on Heroes Without Limits called Hero Sheets, where basically if you liked the part of the stream where we just didn't talk about the questions and vibed, that's the whole stream. Last month, Joe was on, and it was super cool. And this month, because it is now April, we have another guest from the Mousecapades, Joelle, unless I'm very
I have
wrong
his
about
info
that.
if you want me to plug him real quick.
Yes, please.
Yep, that is my good buddy Ari. He is big into social justice. He's big into fighting games. He is a huge on philosophy, and he's pretty much just like a super cool person to hang around. He is at CAnemone6 on Twitter. Please go give him a follow.
Yeah.
He's very funny. He's very relatable, and he's super cool.
And if you guys want to submit questions for me to ask Joelle or Ari on our Discord server, you can also just send them to me via Twitter, because it's really cool to ask questions that people wanted to hear the answers to, and not me just geeking out about whatever it is I'm going to be hyped about that week.
We will ramble if you give us the chance.
Yes, as evident on this stream.
Indeed. And last but of course not least, our lovely winner of today's trivia panel, Sophia. Please remind us who you are and also plug whatever it is that you would like to plug. Take it away.
Yay. I'm Sophia, or Alsarla, everywhere on the internet. You can also call me Als. Alice or Sophia, whichever you prefer. And I go by she, her, and they, them pronouns. I DM the Twilight Grove, which airs every other Tuesday here on Heroes Without Limits. It's a campaign set in a demiplane of the Feywild of my own making, called the Demiplane of Light. Right now, the party is hunting down a beast that jumps through dimensions at will, and it's kind of scary. But it's not the thing the party hates most, because there was an NPC who was an asshole to them, so they hate him much more, and they should, because he's an asshole.
Feel that very heavily.
I retweet a lot of stuff on Twitter. I retweet what my friends say a lot. I retweet art, but I also write music when I actually have the spoons I've been sick for so long that I have not been able to do anything. Ugh, I really want to get back to it. Anyway, so when my commissions open again, because I have 2 right now, which I really have to finish, because I really want them to be finished because they're really cool and fun. I'm gonna open commissions again, and I will write music for your tabletop RPG character, or a game if you want me. I'm rambling very much now, but I write music for video games, which is what I have a 3-year education in. So that's me. Sorry for rambling.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and as someone who has commissioned Sophia for music before, I am going to vouch for her real quick because it is lovely. All of it. It's so good. Please commission her when her commissions open. And I think that's everything. I don't have anything to plug except for, yeah, the raid is coming up. I don't know if we've mentioned Mousecapades enough, but the next episode of that is going to be on April 17th. If you would like to come see a apocalypse story disguised as a cute little Beatrix Potter thing,
I think we
so.
just got raided.
We got raided?
No!
I believe the Chromatic Chimera just raided us. Welcome.
Wait, no.
Oh no!
No, I think we're raiding
Oh,
them.
no,
The raid has started.
It was the command.
Oh, okay.
We are raiding them.
That's what it
Okay.
is.
We're
I don't
done.
know how Twitch
Go!
works.
Be out there. Raid Chromatic Chimera. Support them. Keep on with
Yes.
CouchCon. Check out our vendors. Check out all of the other panels.
And donate to
Donate
the
to Doctors
charity.
Without Borders. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. We love you. I love you.
How much
Go
have
out
we donated right now? We have donated $700 so far, which is really good.
That's good.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Goodbye.
Bye.